Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to be taking a look at a Laowhy86 video that kind of caught me off guard when I saw it. So China just had a secret coup. Excuse me, what's going on? A secret coup in China that we don't know about? There are wild rumors flying out of China right now. They were rumors of this before in 2022, which I debunked, but now there is a new one. Okay, so yeah, I'm actually really interested to see what he has to say because I know it was like earlier this summer they were saying like uh he was sick or something, and then there was like rumors going around that he had a stroke as well. Um, so I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. Let's just go ahead and watch it, react to it, and if you want to see this video directly, if you want to check out the channel directly, the link to the video will be in the description down below, so make sure to go check that out. So yeah, let's watch it.
There are rumors, not from the West, not from the USA, but from within China, that China is having a coup and the leader has been sidelined. Now, in a country that punishes and disappears people for even mentioning things like this is pretty unprecedented.
What is this? What is this? What is this? I don't know.
Remember, China ranks nearly last in the world for journalistic freedom, and there is no freedom of speech or
China, where's China at? 172 out of 180 in the world. That's pretty bad. Vietnam so low. I didn't realize Turkmenistan, Iran, North Korea. North Korea isn't last. Afghanistan, Syria, the Atreys. I I wasn't expecting to see Vietnam down so low. Maybe there's something that I don't know about. Bangladesh is having a lot of issues. Huh. Egypt is pretty low too. Egypt's a lot lower than I thought as well. Interesting. Okay.
anything of the sort. Honestly, I feel like they're on the
And
precipice
is
of arresting
159?
people for even thinking the wrong things. But jokes aside, this kind of stuff doesn't happen in China. No one makes rumors about the central leadership and
Yeah.
then goes on to live another day. The thing is, it did happen. There are rumors, and they are coming out of China, and that's wild. Massive shout out to Shitu Reji Fun TV. It's a fantastic Taiwanese run channel about all this kind of stuff. Got some of my inspiration for this video actually from him.
Okay.
Basically,
I'll have
what
to,
happened was
I'll have to check out that channel. I think he linked that channel in his description. So to see it, you go down to my description to get to his channel, and then you go down to his description to get to that channel. Pretty cool.
there was a big conference in Beidaihe, which is the most important location in the country for the Chinese Communist Party. Anyway,
Okay.
weirdly enough, a ton of rumors started circulating about the most off-limits topic ever in China. And that is the leader of China, Xi Jinping, and that he is currently under house arrest and a coup is already started internally within the CCP.
He's under house arrest. Okay, I mean, is that something like has he been seen recently? I know with the Olympics going on, you would think that he would make a statement of some sort, but I don't actually know. I haven't been following the Olympics or anything. Um, I mean, I'm sure he'll talk. Laowhy86 here will talk about it in the video, but I'm just speaking my mind.
Basically, the crux of the rumor is that the factions within the CCP, like the military, which Xi Jinping has been purging relentlessly, have teamed up to overthrow him. The rumors basically stated that Xi is only responsible for being the face of China to the rest of the world, kind of like a spokesman or a figurehead of the state of the People's Republic of China, and that he shouldn't have ultimate control and leadership over the entire country, and every single decision-making process shouldn't be dictated by him. He will
I
therefore
mean, he's a dictator, so that's why he dictates everything.
remain in charge on the surface, but will be sidelined behind.
And I know, they'd go on and on about there's like the two-party system and it's not a dictatorship, but it's a dictatorship.
behind the scenes. Now, in this rumor, it says that during the sidelining process, there are two powerful figures, a guy named Ding and a guy named Hu, who will act as
Ding
agents.
who? Ding Shu Zhang and Hu Chun Hua. Okay.
Of change. And after she has been
I don't know if I
sidelined
said
successfully,
those names.
Hu Chunhua.
Right. It's she. Like you pronounce X with like a she, right? So it'd be Ding Shi Shang and Hu. I don't know how to pronounce this name. Okay, whatever. Anyways, I like to try to pronounce things correctly, even though I never do, and I just end up embarrassing myself.
Will replace him publicly as leader. Now, if
Who
you
will?
Chunhua will replace him
Who
publicly
will?
after she has been sidelined successfully, Hu Chunhua will replace him. And after
Who?
she has been sidelined successfully, Hu Chunhua
Sorry, I know Hu Chen Hua. Okay,
will replace him publicly as leader. Now, if you
we went from Winnie the Pooh to Hu Chen Hua.
dig deeper into this rumor, it really comes down to the fact that at the third plenary session of the CPC Central Committee, which is basically a massively long and boring way to say an important commie meeting, people started saying that she had had a stroke and that his
remember
health
this.
had been deteriorating. You might
remember
have
this
seen
one.
these rumors online.
Yeah.
So now, all of these branches of government either saw this as an opportunity to unite and strike, or very powerful people within China are very sick of one guy making all the decisions that have led to China completely destroying its relationship with its biggest paycheck, the USA. The evidence for these rumors was that people started to notice that for once and forever, Xi's name wasn't mentioned on the front page of the paper, which is pretty wild because every single corner of every paper in China has his name and picture. But not only
They push Xi Jinping all the time, and like all the news outlets and everything. They have like they even have like a book of quotes supposedly that he wrote or sayings, and they push that heavily as well, like onto everybody.
that, there was also a reduction of his pictures and his quotes and insignia around the country, especially in rural areas. And that is interesting because right before I left China in 2018, the entire country was becoming blanketed in Xi Jinping banners and quotes that really looked like the time of Chairman Mao Zedong. You know, that cult of personality worship phase of the very dark period of China. That was coming back. The fact that people started noticing that local governments were removing this imagery is very, very interesting and
That is
definitely something
weird.
worth looking at. Also, in the publicly published military paper of the People's Liberation Army, yes, they have a newspaper, there is a quote: resolutely make scientific decisions, democratic decisions, and decisions in accordance with the law. People read into this as not only a direct challenge to the decision-making process of Xi Jinping, who's supposed to be in complete control of the military, but also as
There
being
was a date
direct
on
of
there.
Xi
What was the
Jinping,
date? 8/10. Okay, so just a couple days ago.
who's supposed to be in complete control of the military, but also as being directly anti-Xi Jinping. If you interpret it, it basically says that one man can't make all the decisions. They need to be made with multiple sources of democratic input. Now, one can infer from these rumors that this would probably be a slow coup or a slow process. You see, Xi Jinping has amassed so much power in the country that it would take a very, very long time for a united group of these branches of governments to actually weed out his men. And to avoid chaos, a leader would still have to appear in international meetings and meet with international leaders and actually meet with the public and show up in public to avoid making China look weak or unstable. But I want to address the most important part of the video. Do I personally think that these rumors are true? This video is brought to you by Incogni. Thousands of companies are
What a way to what an interesting spot to throw in your sponsorship promo advertisement. That's okay. All right. We'll let it play here in a second. Now, when it comes to me, do I think it's real? I don't know. It's so hard to get information out of China because of the Great Firewall. So I think I personally would have to do my own research, sit down and, go through and skim through as much as I possibly could. Unless he gives like some sort of definitive information answer within this video, which he might do. But we'll go ahead and let the sponsorship play, and then we'll get back to his video.
Collecting, aggregating, and trading your personal data without you knowing anything about it. And you have the right to request data brokers to delete what information they have about you to protect your privacy. The bad news is that it would take years to do it manually. Incogni can do the messy work for you automatically. Incogni helps protect your privacy and take your personal data off the market by reaching out to data brokers on your behalf, requesting your personal data removal and dealing with their objections.
Especially if you live in the US.
Do you know what they usually have? They got your name, they got your email, they got your home address, your gender, your phone number, your education, your IP information, your relatives, your aliases, your social security number, your employment history, your shopping habits. This is the stuff that you don't want people to have. One thing you might notice is that your spam and junk mail will simply dry up after signing up for Incogni because your data is no longer being traded on the market. Take your personal data back with Incogni. Use code CMILK at the link below and get 60% off an annual plan. I'm sure you're going to love it. Thanks.
Okay.
Personally, no. But I think these things...
All right, so he doesn't think that it's actually happening. He doesn't think there's a coup happening. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, I think there just have to be way more definitive proof out there for me to say yes to it as well.
Surface for a reason. There's always something to learn from this type of event, and it's led me to having a thought experiment. And this is the fun part. I think personally, if there were threads of truth to these rumors, it would be because there are many powerful people in China that do not like the direction that China is going in and pine the good old days. I also think it's a little too convenient to look at this from the perspective of revenge, to attribute everything that happens to people trying to get back at the leadership for losing their positions, etc., etc. Xi Jinping has removed many powerful people and actually disappeared many powerful government leaders like Qin Gang, the former Minister of Foreign Affairs and the ambassador to the USA.
I was going to say, I think this person just like straight up just disappeared, and they wouldn't give China would not give an answer at all, like what happened to him.
Foreign Minister Qin Gang was removed from his post. China's Defense Minister, General Li Shangfu, disappeared from public view for months, has now been expelled from the party, accused of corruption. That's at least 2 ministers that disappeared just in the last year.
This means China is really merciless in dealing with corruption of all kinds, even among the
Your
highest
foreign
rank.
minister and defense minister. Imagine Antony Blinken and Lloyd Austin just disappeared tomorrow. We don't know where they are. We've never seen them again. That's not normal, Victor.
Corruption of all kinds in China need to be dealt with.
So where's
with
the trial?
Mercilessness.
So where's the trial?
Those things you don't know doesn't mean doesn't happen. Qin Gang was my good friend for more than 20 years.
Where is he then?
He is involved in corruption.
Where is he?
And he's dealt with very swiftly.
Where is he, Vic?
Regardless of
He's your good friend. You don't know where he is.
seniority.
And by the way, he wasn't accused of corruption. The spokesman came out and said he has health reasons. Then corruption came later, by the way.
That means there is a process, and the process.
The process
is
starts
not
with
just-
one lie that he's ill, and then the next lie is he's corrupt.
He may be ill. You never know.
I mean, he's probably ill.
He may be ill. You never know. I like how they like tune shifted this as well.
After he's been in a Chinese
He
prison.
may be ill now.
And last question.
That's
Where-
the point.
He may be ill now. This man's straight up a comedian.
Then corruption came later, by the way.
That means there is a process, and the process.
The process
is
starts
not
with
just-
one lie that he's ill, and then the next lie is he's corrupt.
He may be ill. You never know.
I mean, he's probably ill after he's been in a Chinese
He
prison.
may be ill now.
And last question.
That's
Where-
the point.
He may be. Okay, I'm sorry. That was funny. I know I'm laughing at like I don't know, some guy getting sick in some Chinese prison somewhere, but it's funny.
Where is he?
He's somewhere in China. You will never see him.
He's somewhere
Li
in
Shangfu.
China. You will never see him. Even the audience was laughing. Wow. Li Shangfu, Chinese defense minister, sacked.
China's former defense minister, this behavior isn't normal. These purges are wild. And that's going to piss off a lot of people in the opposing internal cliques of the government. But I also think that it's much more complicated than that. No one really knows who's aligned with who at the end of the day. And because of the opaque nature of the Chinese government, we can only take stabs in the dark in regards to how they operate. If we are really seeing a slow internal coup, here's what I think would be the best case scenario for the world. First of all, decentralization of power will begin. And there's a reason that that would happen. It would be to return China back to the golden period that was making everybody rich. Everyone in the West was making money from China, and everyone in China was getting rich from cooperation with the West. People want that again. You already have branches of government in China that could run quite smoothly in conjunction with one another. The problem is, currently, every single branch and ultimately every single decision comes down to the central party, and even worse, ultimately the decision of one person. All that could change. In an ideal situation, I reckon we would see a decentralization and liberalization akin to what we've seen in Vietnam, a communist country and authoritarian country on paper, but a country that has already been reducing central power and repairing relations with the West, almost in counter to China. The dictator of China no longer could control every single facet of the government. The military could be controlled by the military, not the dictator. The judicial system could be independent and not under the direct decision-making process of the dictator. You'd still have the CCP, you'd still have the Communist Party of China, but it would be gradually a functionally decentralized CCP, which could further become a more palatable and more trustworthy government that would be easier for the West to deal with. Even if China stays a horrible authoritarian power that tramples on the rights of its people, if China stopped meddling in the West's affairs and stopped trying to bully its way to the top of the global order, these reforms that I just mentioned would likely appease the West enough to even make them maybe take a step back in defending Taiwan after many years of China behaving well. Now, I'm not saying that this is a good thing, by the way. I personally think that we should always aid a democratic Taiwan, but I think...
Yeah, democratic Taiwan, free Hong Kong, free Tibet. I don't think anything like he's saying right now will ever happen again. It's just going to get worse and worse. I don't think Xi Jinping is in a silent coup. I mean, I could be wrong. I'm not, fully caught up geopolitical wise, and I'm not caught up on the internal affairs of China either, so I can't say I'm an expert in that. But I don't think that Xi Jinping is within a silent coup. I think he has too much power, and the reason he has too much power is because he was propped up for so long, he was in control for so long, and yes, as he said in the video, he cut out a lot of people in the government that weren't 100% behind him. So a lot of the people that are left are his lackeys, essentially.
Rushing to Taiwan's aid would be a lot tougher of a sell for Western governments if China starts behaving, trade resumes, and then China makes a modicum of reforms internally that at least makes them appear more trustworthy. After some time, again, if any of this was true, the US and its allies could then begin to at least trust China a little more again on the trade front, and China's economy would
I don't understand this disparity being shown here.
very quickly repair. Remember, that's what a lot of people want here. China needs the rest of the world to trade with it. And what better trade partners than the countries and its friends that literally run the global economy? Remember, I was in China during the golden period, as I call it, and although I disagreed with China's human rights abuses and many of the government's decisions on the whole, I did see a positive future for China and its partnership with the world. It was a positive time. It was a time for many of us, like myself, that we would like to return to, including people in the Chinese government right now. They would love to see China return to normal relations with the US as well. It's what made the money in the first place. Honestly, in terms of positive outcomes for China, this is not necessarily the best outcome. No, that would be a beautiful, flourishing Chinese democracy, but this is probably the most realistic. Not some tumultuous overthrow for people scrambling and jockeying for position, causing chaos and suffering for the people in China, but instead using the pieces of the Chinese government that are already there.
This war propaganda that's going on in the background is really funny.
Centralizing to the point of having branches of government that are independently liable for what happens, and therefore under more scrutiny of the people, as well as having more inherent checks and balances. However, I don't think the CCP will fall, and I don't think China will become a democracy overnight. I think reforms within the party to keep China afloat and to maintain its world player status, still with the authoritarian CCP in control, is the most likely outcome. If you guys enjoyed this video, you're definitely going to like The China Show. That's my show every single Friday.
I watch the China Show every single Friday. Well, sometimes I don't catch it on Friday. Sometimes I watch it on like Saturday or Sunday, but I always watch it every week.
That I do based on China's news, viral events, everything that's happening, fun, crazy, in between, good, bad, serious, everything. It's covered there. You're going to want to be subscribed to that. I want to thank you for watching this video, and I'll catch you on the next one.
All right, catch him on the next one. What is this? Hang in there, Kathy. Oh, R.I.P. Kathleen. Oh no, Kathleen Kennedy didn't die. Susan Wojcicki died. Kathleen Kennedy is the person that's over Lucasfilms. I don't know. I correlate. I see Kathleen Kennedy and I see Susan Wojcicki, and they look very similar to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm blind. Anyways, that's not anything. It's got nothing to do with what we're talking about. So yeah, so China just had a secret coup, question mark. Turns out I don't think so. He doesn't think so. There's potential. There's definitely something that could be potentially going on in the background, but I don't know. We just need more information. We need to see more things coming out of China. Unfortunately, we're just not going to see a lot of those things unless something major happens, right? Unless something absolutely major happens. I'm actually kind of interested to see what some of the comments have to say about everything, so we will read some comments. I hear a bunch of banks in every town are disappearing with all the people's money, and nobody turned around taking account for, and people want their money, and there's no bank left. Yeah, I saw a bunch of videos and stuff about this. People going up to the banks are empty. They got no money at all. People's money's just gone from those bank accounts. Yeah, it's crazy. Different jockeys, same horse, need the citizen involvement and none of the current CCP. Remember that time Xi kidnapped Jack Ma for like no reason? Oh yeah, Jack Ma was the richest man in China. He ran a bunch of corporations and stuff in the West, and yeah, he ended up just disappearing for like years and years and years. Who's on first? No, that's Ding. Who? No, Ding. Who's on third? I don't know. You tell me who. That's what I'm asking you. I mean, I kind of made a similar joke, but you know, you can make. Is it appropriate to make fun of people's names, guys, if it's in a different language? I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe my joke went over the line as well. I didn't hear no Swan Lake. She's in Xi Jinping probably. Whoa, that interview between the Westerner and CCP rep about the disappeared defense minister is wild. Yeah. I don't even need to think. I saw China in title. I know bad things happened. Well, we don't know if anything bad happened or not. I was scared for a moment that the other guy named would be Dong. Ding dong, really? Okay. Good. Let's all further help the Chinese out by reducing any made in China purchases whenever humanly possible. I try to do that. I try to buy non-Chinese made things. Made in Mexico is very prevalent and popular now in the U.S. Made in like Vietnam, made in India is becoming a lot more popular. I try to buy made in America. Unfortunately, made in America is, you know, they got a little bit of a price tag to it, but you can do it if you can, right? It could happen, especially if they're panicking about the fallout from the companies leaving China. The problem is those companies are unlikely to return anytime soon. After all, moving is expensive and things could always change for the worse again. The thing companies love is certainty. Yeah, a lot of companies are pulling out of China. They're going to places like Vietnam, India. They're going to places like Mexico. You know, they're leaving China. There's a guy named Ding and another guy named Who. Bruh, I'm sorry, but I laughed at that one. Funny, I misread an article the other day and I thought it said he died. Oof. OMFG, I died laughing. It's General Grumpy Cat. This guy is emoting the Grumpy Cat meme. What?
Yeah.
No more Winnie the Pooh Pooh? Question mark. The housing bubble burst. 100 million people, citizens outraged. Yeah, the Chinese housing market is crazy bad. Crazy bad. Are you suggesting that some people who are old enough to remember the golden age of Mao do not wish to repeat them? Without elections, how can one have accountability? If you have a poor performing independent military and judiciary, how can these top people be fired without elections? I just noticed 1 million subscribers. Yeah, he did get 1 million subscribers, and he like swam in a bathtub or of something full of mayonnaise. It's weird. So much industry has already moved out of China. I don't think the businesses want to bother moving back into China after just moving out. Interesting, but it could also be a trap to see who needs to be purged. True. This coup is really a case of who didn't get. Wasn't he voted as Secretary General for life? For your information, in Canada is already or soon will be illegal to think the wrong stuff. If someone suspects you are thinking the wrong stuff, you can be arrested and charged. Canada? Question mark. Yes. Exclamation mark. What? Can you explain more what's happening in Canada? If that's happening in Canada, then Trump needs to impose harsh sanctions on Canada until Trudeau is finally gone. I live in California, and the governor here is just like Trudeau. I asked my Canadian friends how much longer until he's gone. I have no idea what they're talking about. Maybe someone can elaborate in the comments for me. I read it as China had a secret soup. All right. Guys, thank you for watching. Yeah, make sure to go check out Laowhy86's channel. Remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and yeah, I think I'm done. Take care, guys. Goodbye.